What do you say we do some more Balatro, primarily because it keeps snowing on the weekends and blowing up our recording schedule. So, obviously, more Mario RPGs on the way, but might be a minute. I just experimented with this deck for the first time last night. As you can see, I got a juicy fat dub. Because that's why I have this unlocked. Plasma deck is interesting. There's a few over here that are kind of cool. You know, like, if you want to go with this route, free double tag every time after a boss blind, which leads you into the black stake situation where you kind of want to skip the small blind anyways. Now, you can still win money from other sources, but you don't get the reward just for beating it, so a lot of times that's where you want to skip it and get the reward for that. And then also, I want to try and make this work, and this is the one I think we're going to play today. The increased hand size is huge for making off combinations, and then if you can get more steel stuff or things that activate in hand, then you're in really good shape. But one less Joker slot, which really matters as you get to the late game. You kind of need as many multipliers as you can get. But then, of course, negative Jokers, so I'm going to give this one a shot in the base difficulty. I will show off just because, wow, cool. You've seen streamers do much better than this, but I have my first E hand. I think I had several on this run, actually. Still couldn't quite beat Ante 13. Ended up getting a bad draw and couldn't get myself out of it in time. I actually got close, but the bar to clear these ends up being in the E range, which is like billion plus. So, new record for best hand. It was pretty fun. Ended up getting like kings in hand multiply and had just a ton of kings and queens and steel cards and things in hand, triggering multiple times, face card. Like, it was just came together really nicely, and that was off of the other deck. That was off of Plasma deck. This one's interesting because you essentially kind of want to start off getting a lot of chips, because it's easy to get chips. But of course, as we talked about last time, Molt is multiplicative. So eventually, just adding chips, even if it is sort of split between the two, is not enough. But you can get through the early hands in this just with something that gives like 50 chips, because then it becomes 25 times 25 instead of 50 times 1, for example. But let's give this one a whirl and see how it goes. Now, oh, that's certainly a nice one to see. Anytime you're trying to get off to a good start, this is one of the better ones, I feel. You know, rare Joker, polychrome Joker, those also can be quite nice to get things going in a run as opposed to just sort of sifting through. You know, nothing against a free tarot pack, but like that's not really going to move the needle most of the time. So, yeah, we're going to take this. Here, foil Jokers. In the other one, as I mentioned, kind of good for getting off to a good start. But here, we're just going to jump in so we can see our first shot that has free stuff in it. And now you see the benefit of the bigger hands. Now, this is going to mean that we need to be greedy in this run. We're going to have plenty of options. We're going to have plenty of ways to draw into what we need. Here, we're just going to go for a flush. Hey, giant full house. That'll get it done. Just about. Not quite in one, but now we have it open in a straight draw. We can finish that off and keep moving on. This is also going to help us in any Arcana packs because we're going to see more cards to turn things into or convert. So lots of things going on here already. And now we get to look through things for free. We have a Spectral pack, which is cool. We can see how that shapes us. Our free Jokers are random playing card with a random seal. Can be good. And Popcorn, which is nice just to carry us through some early stuff. Again, for free. We certainly don't hate any of that. Let's go Spectral pack first so that it guides our standard pack choice. Huh. So we have Hex in here. We saw that last time. Familiar allows us to get rid of one card and add some face cards. Trance is a blue seal. And Sigil for flush building. Now we're going to be converting a lot of cards here. We have 4 spades in our hand. Hex is tempting. You know, we could... we'd have to get rid of this, which would be a free $2. I mean, we just don't want that to be polychrome because it's going to eventually disappear once it runs out of mult. So that would be devastating. This one, I mean, I guess polychrome in it would be nice, but then again, like, is that going to be around in the late game? Not really, I don't think. You know, if we get the Joker that gives us the multipliers off of uncommons, then maybe it can stick around because then it's also adding a mult. But I don't know. I think we're just going to convert these into a suit and see how that guides us from there. Okay. So we're looking for things with diamonds then, because now we look at our deck, 21 of those and some other stuff. +1 hand per round is nice, but Not going to buy that yet, if nothing else. I mean, this is a wild, which means it's technically a diamond, and it has a red seal on it. We might be able to convert that into something more useful, like a steel, and then convert it into a diamond. That's awful long-term thinking, but I think we're going to go that over this. Plus 4 molts is fine, but red seals are always very nice, and we can see if we can get that to be something more useful. So again, we would probably like this voucher, but it's not something that we're going to spend right now because we can always buy it later. We don't need it this minute, and that way we can get the interest. All spades are debuffed. Well, we are a diamond deck now, and here is our new card. So you can see why this is valuable, because it can be red seals, or purple, or blue, or gold, but adding a red seal is nice, because then we can look to convert them later, or whatever the case might be. We can just be digging for flushes at this point. 2 of those that are pretty good would leave us in good shape. So let's toss like that, I don't know. And then we're just going to need to find one other hand, and... Oh, that's right, I forgot about popcorn. So we only need 1, because that's huge in the beginning. Now, obviously, we would have liked to have seen some stronger candidates than these 2, but it's enough, since they were free, to make it work. Alright, so this is something I'm more interested in, I think, with discards. So we like that. Not really concerned about 2 pair. That's interesting for the early game, especially given that we basically have 2 free hand size, but Do I want to buy this now or just wait? I think I'm just going to wait. None of these really is like super exciting yet, so just keep going. Mega Buffoon Pack, kind of tempting. We do have 2 spots free instead of the usual 3. I think we just keep going. Alright, free purple. These are going on hearts right now and not diamonds, which, I mean, it's random, so we can't control that, but I think what we're going to do is discard first, because it's still possible that this flush, actually I think it's very likely, the flush that we play is going to be more than enough with plus 16. So let's toss some stuff and try to get to our other cards just to see if we can pull anything else. Okay. Emperor. Emperor goes into Sun, which, I mean, we could convert things into all diamonds and hearts, at least for now. That's certainly a possibility. And then Magician. Tell you what, just for the chance of hitting it, I like having queens and kings around, so let's put this on here and then play it. I want to turn anything into heart yet? I don't think so. We'll just hold on to that. We're not hurting for the slot yet, so let's see. Well, didn't really need the 20 mult to hit, but we're not mad about it. Alright, we're in the interest zone. And nothing here is super like, whoa. And I don't know that we need this yet either. We still have one more chance to buy it. We didn't get our +1 hands, but I'm also not super worried about that. In general, we're trying to play super high value hands and not a bunch to get there. Like, that can help you in a pinch, but eh. So I think because we can buy this after this next hand, we're just going to wait. Because again, I don't think we're in terrible shape. And in theory, we may not need discards as much at all just because of our hand size, but it is nice if we're trying to mill through our deck for a specific setup, you know, flush house 5 of a kind, the big stuff we might be going for. I don't think the rest of this really matter. I mean, I could spend $5 and still be at the interest threshold, but I don't know that I'm super like, whoa. I guess we'll pick up an Empress because it'll be nice to build some cards here. Double tag, no thank you. Alright. 8 of clubs with a gold seal. We have a flush in hand already. I think we're just going to use our discards to try and dig for purple seal or something of that nature. Well, now even if we draw a purple seal, we won't be able to discard it, so it's sort of a moot point. Let's go with these 2 as mult and then play them and then move on. Starting on ×4 this time, so the run doesn't take 2.5 hours. I know some people would even like you know, ×8, and I get that. See, this is somewhat tempting, I guess, because we were thinking we were heading that direction, and we still clearly have the most diamonds. We've also modified some of the diamonds. None of our additional ones have been diamonds yet, but that worth it just to buy us some time while we get other stuff? Maybe. It's only $5. We have some to spend. I mean, we could buy this and an Arcana pack, and, you know, that puts us basically at 20, which is still pretty good for interest. So let's get this. I think this makes sense right now. We've been able to pretty much pull whatever we wanted. This we're going to want to make sure we sell before it disappears just to get the $2, as opposed to just the 4 molt it'll be at the end. Let's pop one of these since it doesn't affect our interest. We have Death. Hermit's also tempting at this stage, just because, I mean, the purple seal, Queen of Hearts, is fine. But I'm not like, whoa, we could turn like a 5 of Spades into it. Obviously, this is also, but like, I don't really know there's any jokers that we're really ride or die with. And again, if it hits popcorn, it just feels really bad. So I think we're going to take the money. Position ourselves to buy whatever we need. Could re-roll right now just to see, but I think we just hold off. We're not hurting for solutions right now. We will be soon. Alright. 1 and 7 cards are face down, and we don't have almost any diamonds in our hand. So let's just discard the things we can't see and keep the planet for, you know, reasons. The hope was maybe one of those happened to be like a purple seal, but alas. We can't make a flush because we can turn 3 things into hearts. We only have 1, and we still have not drawn diamonds, so we'll go again. Okay. Now we have a flush, and that should be plenty with the diamond up, so we also could make a heart flush, but there isn't really a reason for that. I don't know that we're looking to make a ton of straights in this setup, but we're also not locked out of that yet. This seems like the more likely thing we should chase, just because we're building some particular suits here. Magic Trick can be good, because the playing cards can come with other fancy stuff, but eh. So we're going to get this. I think we're just going to sell Saturn. We're going to sell Popcorn. And we're probably going to start looking to re-roll here. Let's get this Jumbo Arcana pack, though. So clubs, no. Planet cards, eh. Molt, eh. Glass. And then, of course, you know how I like Emperor. So I guess the question is, do I just burn this to turn those 2 spades? And I think I will. Just to make room for this. Ah, tower, great. In fact, let's just get that on out of here. Don't think I want this. I think I want to re-roll once or twice. Okay, now we're starting to shape some things. Now, we haven't really done a great job of adding specific cards yet. In the process of adding random cards, we've happened to end up with some 9s and 8s. So we have 6 of those apiece. So we have some possibilities for that. And again, we can be greedy in going for this. So I think this is an easy one. Now, again, is that the long-term goal here? Is it full houses, flush houses? I mean, it gives us some options. And we'll see. I might just keep the rest of this, though, because now with this, I'm, again, not worried about clearing the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 worth of lines. And steel is nice. So let's go back into it. Mega Arcana. Tempting. But no. Now, eventually, we're going to end up with, like, too many random cards. I mean, you can see we're up to 57 now, and none of them have slotted in particularly well. Again, a couple 9s and 8s, which is at least something, but we do have 3 of a kind with 9s in our hand, but it also involves a planet card that we'd like to get. So I think what we're going to do is discard this and some other stuff. Let's go with, like, that. I guess this, because we're not going to play it. Okay, Sun. I think I'm just going to do that right now. So we're going to pare this down into effectively 2 suits. And the one nice thing about that is it does help protect you from being hit by the, you know, diamonds don't score or hearts don't score, or vice versa. Long term, who knows? But I think that's more useful than it is just having a dollar. I mean, we can play a flush with 3 of a kind in it. That certainly clears this. Do I want to make a steel card yet? It's not like we need it to clear, so I think we'll hold off and just see what else we can do. We would like to get that onto one of our red steel cards if possible, long term. So let's just watch this go big. I mean, straight flush things are certainly possible. It's not a build I've ever tried to run. In diamonds, we're pretty well off in the mid-range there. We have 2 of everything from queen to 8. But I think the dollar might be more useful. I don't know. This card, of course, less valuable than usual because we only have 4 slots for now. I think we're just going to go with the double Arcana pack and see what that leaves us with and go from there. So let's go... I guess the mega one first to convert as many things before we go to the smaller one. Alright, Wheel of Fortune, some malts, some hearts, some clubs, some strength. I don't know that we have great targets for strength at this particular moment. This, of course, could be the steel target, but then it's a spade and not a wild card. So we would need to convert it into something that we wanted more. Doable, so maybe, because then if we're looking to duplicate cards, that could be a high-value target. So I may go that route while we're looking at it. What else do I have with the red seal? 4, and then that 9 of hearts. Alright, I think we'll try and hit the 9 of hearts then. Because that way it doesn't need as much conversion. And the 9s and 8s are what we have the most of at the moment. Whether that sticks around long-term or not, I guess we'll see. I mean, this is at the point now where at least it doesn't have a terrible target. Obviously, it would be nice to polychrome this. That would be huge. I don't know that I really care about the molt. Maybe we could do like the ace and king of diamonds, but... Or the 9, which we are building towards, but I think we'll go here. Well... I guess that's one reason to go around. And then since we talked about it, I mean, we could convert the 3 clubs into hearts, but I think I'd rather just get like... beefier face cards, and 9s, and diamonds. Okay, let's get this one too. Hanged Man. I mean, it's that or just make some bonus cards, which are fine. Could just start tossing some of the non-red cards in our deck. Diamonds are supposed to be red. They're orange. Be nice to thin a little bit because we're up to 58, and obviously we're going to keep increasing. But we also have bigger hand sizes, so we're not worried about drawing what we need as much. I guess we'll go here. Want that or the jack? Yeah, let's go those 2. Alright, now for up top, glass, This, I guess, we'll just use. Again, I think that's more valuable than $1, and we can see if we can make that work. I think we won't re-roll. Let's just go into it. That is tempting. We have must play 5 cards coming up on the boss blind. Not really worried about that, so let's do it. That'll allow us to start adding some more free stuff here. We got a red seal and a 6 of clubs. Gotta play 5 cards. We're gonna look to play diamonds when we do, so let's discard. We have a spot free. Let's see what we get out of that. More bonus cards. Alright, let's just do that right now to the 8s. And then, you know, we could play a full house with a lot of diamonds in it. That should be enough. Got 3 of a kind in it. Gets us the gold, too. Doesn't hurt. And I'm not really worried about this yet. We didn't draw a red 9. I could discard until I do, I suppose. Because, like, we're not going to play any of those now. Let's see if we can get something else that's useful to us. Red seal 4. Hey. We did it. Alright. Sometimes I think, especially for newer players, it's easy just to go, if this is enough to win, it doesn't matter. It's like, well, you got discards. They don't cost you anything in almost every setting. Again, some jokers or decks apply, but might as well use them. $50 and we're happy to see clearance sale. That's a must buy. That doesn't affect us right this minute, so I could hold off, but we're already at max interest. We have Gluttonous Joker. Scary Face. Not thrilled about that. So this is not a really good outcome for our free, but it is free, so what we're going to do is buy this and immediately sell it. Buy this and keep it for now, even though... I mean, we had the 1 extra queen, but... So far... yeah, let's get the standard first. So far, we're not really looking at face cards. Yeah. In some setups, you know, if I was just building diamonds like we thought we might be 2 antes ago, I might just pull like the 4 but we're already adding so many cards from the certificate that I think we just skip, which is especially wasteful. And here we get 2. Now, Jupiter and Earth certainly pop out because 2 pair, and high card do not. Not upset about seeing those 2, though. Things we played. I think we're going to reroll once. Well. Okay.